Good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday, May 14th. My name is Amy DeBeck. This is a fireside chat. I had hoped that maybe by May or June, the fireside chat would be outside by the fire pit, but it's raining today. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I think that's still important to talk about. I hope that when you're getting to know people on Zoom or by phone or however it is that you're meeting them, I hope that you're letting them know a little bit about yourself and who you are, and I hope that you're getting to know them and a little bit about them and who they are. Today's fireside chat is really about you all. I really hope you're doing okay. It's been 2 months since we came inside, and I get out sometimes. Sometimes I get the groceries pre-purchased and put in the trunk of my car, and sometimes I put on a mask and I go into the grocery store. And I see a lot of people out, even today. I see a lot of people out who are not wearing masks. I see a lot of people who are, I don't know why they aren't wearing masks. Maybe they don't know the difference. Maybe they don't have access to one. Boy, they sure don't know Carolee and Zanzer. But it worries me, and it's been worrying me for some time. How are you all doing with staying home? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you being safe? I really hope so. Our phone tree, which was set up in the early hours of pandemic quarantine, is still going strong, but also I've not kept up with it as well as I want to. So expect in the next few weeks some more phone calls, some more personal contact by phone, because I am concerned for our religious community. Here's what I want to say. Today, the Reverend Susan Frederick Gray released the UUA's official stance on how we feel and what we believe about reopening. To be clear, we mean like no restraints. Hugging everybody when they walk in the door, potluck, singing, all of the things that are not allowed now. They're saying a year. Susan Frederick Gray has released a statement that we don't expect to be able to safely gather in total until there is a vaccine and a lot of immunizations. Now, I'm hearing from some of you that you're looking forward to a gradual getting back together. Like maybe people who aren't at risk could go have small group meetings at the church. And maybe it would be okay to do this or that if we use social distancing. This fireside chat is not any kind of official statement. It's just that I love you and miss you, and I know that this is hard, and I know that we're all wishing that things could be like they were. I used a funny phrase today with Kevin. I said, there's a place that I'm visiting more and more frequently. I haven't come to live there yet. And the place is looking for the good things about such a complete and total change of the way of life. It sure doesn't feel good. It sure doesn't feel positive. But then my colleague, who I have not met, but some of you did when you went to Boston a couple years ago. His name is Adam Dyer, and he's the minister in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And he, I'll put his thing in the comment line under this, so you can read it if you want. He put a thing out yesterday or today that church hasn't always been safe for a lot of people. And we know that at UUFE. A lot of people come to me personally and say, I know that it's okay to come here because of your stance on fill in the blank. LGBTQ, Black Lives Matter, women being treated like people. Reverend Adam Dyer, points out in his article about this being a new and safer way for people to find church communities. And so while I am not feeling today empowered to say, let's get out there and let's just do everything different, someday I believe I will be that cheerleader. I believe I will be on board with, all right, if we have to live in these circumstances where I'm not going to get to be with you all, and you're not going to get to be with everybody all at once for quite some time, what are the good things that we can be doing in between? I got a couple kids here. They just got in the car and went for a drive because we let them do that sometimes. And I said to them, in 5 years, when this is a history that has formed us, in 5 years, when we have a friend, it's going to be a good friend, because we will have taken this time to get to know ourselves and to know what it is that we're looking for in a friendship or a relationship. In 5 years, we're going to know what we're made of. Apparently, I'm made of a lot of different yarns. I've used them for hair, for a sock puppet, and now I'm making other things. But we're going to know what we're made of. So the next crisis that comes along that sends us into less than wonderful circumstances, we're going to know how to get through that. So it's great to look ahead and say, oh, all right, this is a character building exercise. But while we're in it, it just doesn't feel like that. So I'm gonna put some links underneath this fireside chat. Some of my colleagues are just doing great work. Adam Dyer is saying, let's reimagine how church is, because it wasn't safe for everybody. And another friend I haven't met, Reverend Joanne Crawford, she writes in her blog to imagine this pandemic quarantine as being like you're on a desert island. So what is it that you do first? And what is it that you do when you realize the boat isn't coming anytime soon? And what is it that you do when you're settling in on your desert island? So this fireside chat is really about you. I hope that you're doing well. If you're not, please contact me or somebody. I got a really odd phone call last week from someone I don't know who asked me to please call their friend who was having trouble because they've watched some of these messages and they think that maybe talking to me might help their friend. I haven't been able to get hold of them yet, and I hope that they're okay. But that's how this religion saves lives. And this is my attempt to tell you that I get it. We are not all in the same boat. We're in the same ocean, but we're not in the same boat. Some of us have a tiny little lifeboat that is barely hanging in there, and some of us have yachts. But we are all in the same ocean. Boy, with this rain today, it kind of feels like it. But when I think about how to reimagine doing church, how to reimagine being inside for a long time, those are my thoughts. Those are not any kind of message from the UUFE board. As it stands now, through the end of May, we won't be gathering. And at the end of May, the board and I will have a meeting and figure out what to do next. It looks like it's going to be a while. It looks like going with safety, going with science is going to once again put our religion to the test. How many times have you been in a conversation with somebody who doesn't think it's okay to be gay? How many times have you been in a conversation where somebody doesn't want to talk about institutional racism? How many times have you been in a conversation, I was yesterday, where I said, yeah, COVID is a real thing. 80,000 people have died. And that person said, oh, people die of all kinds of things. How many times have you been living with your values and your beliefs, which have put you on the outside with somebody else? It's not comfortable. I don't love it when it happens, but I couldn't live any other way. I know you can't either. So when you're thinking about reimagining your life and reimagining your congregational life and looking for silver linings, looking for positive changes that might come from this, expect that in the coming days and weeks, expect that I will be able to help you with that, and we'll all be able to be in it together. And it's 2 months. I don't want to say happy anniversary, but it's getting real. And for those of you who know my penchant for saying things that are not appropriate, I did just say it's getting real. Whatever it is that you're doing to keep hanging in there, keep doing that. And when you feel your spirit flagging, give me a call. Send me a text. Call someone who is going to brighten your day. Call someone or text somebody or do something. Don't be alone. Because although we do have to physically distance, we don't have to socially or spiritually distance at all. We're in this together. However it is that you pass the time, I hope it's good. And I hope it's dry today. With all of these thoughts in my head and in my heart from me to you, I wish you blessings, I wish you peace, and I wish that you'll stay home. Amen.